What's up, everybody? Welcome to Philly with John Marks on a Friday. Central City Toyota, the sponsor of Philly with John Marks, along with Parks. Yes, we love Bet Parks. And joining us on the show today, speaking of Bet Parks, co-hosting for the entire hour, he was scheduled to join us last week before I nearly died, shortly before going on the air. But he agreed to come back as long as I didn't almost die again. And I'm good this morning. His name is Maniac Malloy, content creator for Bet Parks and Parks Casino. Maniac Malloy joins us coming up in a second. I guess we had to connect them. But shout out to everybody right now that's watching out there in YouTube land. Good morning, everybody. Subscribe, like, follow, comment, all that good stuff. Maniac Malloy joins us, the pride of St. Joe's Prep. And look at him. What's up, Maniac?
Oh, it's Friday.
It is Friday.
John, are you recovered? What the hell happened to you last week?
You were here. You know what happened. I tell you.
Yeah, it was a little
I had a Tony Soprano
scary.
panic attack.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
I diagnosed it. Yep.
Oh, you diagnosed it.
Well, I mean, it's
good.
everything that happened. I just got in this weird coughing fit, and I felt like I was going to throw up, and then I started freaking out. And I was like, am I having a heart attack? And then before you know it, poor Tyler's like ready to call 911. And then I'm in here and I'm like, all right, Maniac, give me 10 minutes, man. I think I can go. I think I can get started. And listen, I'm
you
fine.
were really trying to push through and have your like Michael Jordan flu game. I just got to say, sorry, I'm posting the link to my Instagram right now. Yeah, you were trying to battle. You were really trying to battle through it, but.
So this was, and honestly, this would have been a great show. Unfortunately, we got too far into the hour, and then Anthony, and rightfully so, because if we started 8:40, his show starts at 9, and I think it would have been a good show. Then people are like, "Oh, I'm sticking with Marks. I'm not going to click over to Anthony." So at that point, it didn't make sense. But the plan was at 8:40. I'm like, listen, there's no way I can actually drive a show right now. But between Tyler and Maniac, you just start the show. I'll sit here in the chair and you can make fun of me for nearly dying and having Tyler call 911. And then we could discuss the issues, but you guys would need to kind of most likely step in and help because I was still in bad shape. So that actually would have been a great show because I don't care. People can make fun of me. That's fine. That's why I talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I would have been talking about baseball cards and stuff, so it probably would have been your worst.
You have your baseball. So for people that don't know, and believe me, we have a lot to talk about today. Who knows where this is going to go? Maniac Malloy is a professional content creator. He's not some big booty hoe that's on Instagram shaking it and has hundreds of thousands of followers because she's got a nice can. Maniac Malloy actually produces content for Bet Parks and Parks Casino and is well paid for it, actually. You know, he's just not some scrub out there that's putting stuff out for likes and comments. No, he's well paid.
You know what? The best way I can describe it, John, this ain't no hobby, all right? This ain't no hobby. I'm in it.
You do it for the likes and the clicks, but you also do it for money. You'd have a full-time job if you for the likes.
You want to hear
clicks.
my next thing that I got going on or no?
Yes.
You want to keep going?
Absolutely, right. Yes.
So I'm putting the cart before the horse a little bit, but good. I always do that. So my next thing, have you heard of slug ball?
Yes, you already know that I know about slug ball. Yes, I love slug ball.
Wait, we did talk about that?
I Googled it because Greg Olinsky, who is one of the founders of it, I know. He's the Bradford White. He does marketing for Bradford
you texted
Water
me.
Here.
You texted. Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Bradford.
No, I was supposed to go. He had something up in Trenton back in the summer, and I was supposed to go to that, but I couldn't because of the kids and stuff. My wife couldn't get off that day. So,
we are gonna play. We're gonna play soon. Okay.
Yeah.
A little exhibition game. But this is it for me. This is my last chance at glory, and it's slug ball, all right? You play in minor league stadiums, 4 rounds, offensive game only, no defense. I've already made my calls to all my team members, some of my best friends that I've played baseball with my whole life, and we're coming to Trenton Thunder Stadium in Trenton, May 10th. And there's going to be hell to pay, John Marks. There's going to be hell to pay and I just need a team name. That's all. And then it's going to go from there. We're going to start having practices soon, and we're going to try to win. By God darn it, we're going to win.
And you're the player manager. You're like Pete Rose when he was with the Reds in the Expos late in his career.
Yeah, exactly that. So it's a game where I believe you either have. I thought I'm still not quite sure on all the rules, right? You have to look it up, but it's baseball reimagined. This is like the game of baseball for people after really playing baseball. Say you don't want to play like
it's
a
a
Sunday
modern
morning.
softball. You're going up there to hit. You're not
Yeah,
playing small
it's
ball.
not. I wouldn't
Maniac
even
Lloyd.
use the word softball because you're hitting a baseball with a wooden baseball bat.
No. But I'm saying it's like when you get older, you play softball to take your baseball itch away. Some people still play hardball, but like people that love baseball, they're like, hey, I can be on this rec softball team and drink beer, and that's what you did for a long time.
Oh, I was on the circuit in the softball world. It probably wasted very big portion of my life doing that. But it was fun. This is for like when you're sick of that kind of,
Yeah.
or it might start to just overtake that. So I'm very excited about that. I think we're going to be called the Doylestown St. Pat's.
That sounds about right. The pride of Doylestown, Maniac Malloy, who and Michael Haynes. You can put that comment up there. There, Michael Haynes doesn't think you look like you're from. Says you're Kensington and Allegheny, LA Shore Parks.
You know what? It's funny. I was rolling with a bunch of Kenzos down at the Super Bowl. I was just surrounded with Kenzos down there. It was the best time of my life, dude.
Oh,
it was
man.
Unbelievable.
You're funny. So check it out. Last segment of the show, questions, comments, and suggestions. We call it QCS. See what I did there? QCS. Questions, comments, suggestions. So and we'll announce it a couple times, but you have to be live on YouTube. So drop it in the chat. And when you drop it in the chat, any question, comment, suggestion, like you can say that, you can rip me. You can have real questions, like questions for Maniac Malloy, questions, inside questions to Jamie Lynch. Did he fire me yesterday? I had a meeting with Jamie Lynch, who's the director of content at PHLY yesterday. We had coffee. He did not whack me. It was a good conversation. I was not fired. So get your questions, comments, and suggestions in. We'll announce it a couple times over the show. Last segment, about 40 minutes from now, 35 minutes from now, we will we'll unsheath all of them.
Now, what about Gene Hackman?
He was mummified, Gene Hackman. So it sounded like the wife was dead for a while, and then like and then he just died, and they were just sitting there. Poor German Shepherd was locked in a crate, so that thing just like died in there.
I mean, he was 95. I mean, he was 95, right?
Yeah. So she dies, and like he doesn't know what to do. He's 95. So he's just kind of like walking around, and God knows, he probably just fell and he just died. I don't know, but they don't think it's carbon monoxide poisoning, as many people speculate.
Oh, that's what I was hearing. It was. I haven't done a deep dive on it. I was more so going to go the route of more impressive coaching performance in a fictional movie. Hoosiers. What was his name in that? Do you remember?
I was just saying it yesterday.
Or Jimmy McGinty in The Replacements.
With Norman Dale and Hoosiers, right?
Norman Dale takes a group of young Indiana white boys, super white bread boys, and takes them to the state championship, right? Or resurrecting Shane Falco out of the Baltimore Harbor and winning a championship in pro football or whatnot.
Cinematically, it was probably the latter, because they Hoosiers is considered a great movie cinematically, and obviously I'd rather watch The Replacements because that's stupid and it's good.
All right, so you like The Replacements more?
Well, I don't like either of them, honestly. Hoosiers is boring and whatever. I saw it. I'm out. Yeah, I know. Maniac Lloyd, I don't have time for movies, brother. I'm too busy. I have episodes of Cops that I need to catch up on from.
Oh my God, you're a reality TV show guy.
No, just Cops, just crime and documentaries. I've gotten stuck in an algorithm on YouTube where it's prison documentaries, like inside maximum security prisons in Indiana, and it's really good stuff. It's really interesting stuff. I don't know, like I think of my next life or my previous life, I was in law enforcement. I don't know if I was a correctional officer or a probation officer or a cop, detective. Like the First 48 on A&E. I never miss an episode of First 48. I love the crime and investigation type stuff.
That is a great show. That is a great show. You would like that 60 days in the people that go.
Nah, I mean, I've
I like
seen it.
that's like the only version of that I would. Now let me ask you this though, like did you overdo it with the movies and now you need that like instant gratification of cop? Like
It
because
just
that's I
doesn't.
felt like I did that for a while. I used to watch the same movies every single night when I was a kid, and now like I don't have that much, but man, Hoosiers, that's a top 5 sports movie.
The Hoosiers is a top 5 sports movie. All right, so are we talking about cinematically or a movie you would want to watch?
It just means a lot to me. Sentimental.
Right, okay, good answer. So let's not waste any more time on this. So next Friday, if you join us next Friday, let's do a top 5 sports movies of all time list.
Done.
All right?
Done.
And we'll do it because I feel like a lot of baseball movies are going to be, and yours as well. I think everybody's. The baseball movies and sports are very good. All right, so hold that. That's for next week. This portion of the program brought to you by Glatt Hair Restoration. GlattHairMM.com, 610-980-4000. And that was going to be my lead, which is you should do some content creating for Glatt Hair Restoration and get Glatt Hair Restoration. But
I do need a new water heater too.
But you go for and that's from the slug ball. But you need it, but you do the mullet and you wear just the mustache a lot. Well, I know, but a lot of times you have the mullet look and you're wearing NASCAR sunglasses.
Yeah.
And you have just the mustache. So it goes for your look.
Can you tell I didn't get a shower for you today? Sorry, buddy.
I shower at night, bro.
Look at this. This is just my hairline. All right. I've been tuned with this. I mean, I guess I could go to Glatt and just get a better hairline, but truly it's like my grandfather used to always say, I'm all beach, no wave.
No, you be you, man. It works for you. I'm telling you. You got no issue.
Put a hat on that freaking head.
All right, so listen, I knew that we were going to be like 15 minutes in and not have spoken about anything, which is perfectly fine with me. That's how we operate. But the big story, Maniac Malloy, and you do a lot of stuff with Elliot, and it goes up on the Bet Parks social medias year round. There's always stuff to talk about with the NFL. It's great content with our buddy Elliot Shore Parks. But free agency starts in 10 days in the NFL. And there's a lot of conversation. Are they going to sign Sweat, Milton Williams, Zach Bond, blah, blah, blah. So I think the biggest story in the NFL, and it's going to play out after free agency and into the draft, is Myles Garrett and what's going to happen with him and the Browns. Because the Browns, they're saying the right thing. Andrew Berry, their GM, who worked under Howie Roseman here in Philadelphia, he's saying the right thing, which is we're not trading Myles Garrett. They're going to try to make it work. I mean, at this point, they're years away from winning anything. Right? If you can get multiple first-round draft picks and then more to trade them. So I think right now they're saying the right things, and if they can keep them around, they would. But I believe the most likely scenario is that Myles Garrett gets traded. And the Eagles are, of course, always floated among the first couple of teams or the first team that is discussed when making any type of a big move in the NFL. So here is Jeremy Fowler, Tyler, if we have this. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. He was on Get Up a couple days ago. And they're discussing this particular situation. Here it is.
So way early, I'm connecting some dots here, admittedly, but this is a conversation that some people in the league have had, that the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the most aggressive, if not the most aggressive teams on the trade market, will be looking for a pass rusher. Josh Sweat, the Super Bowl likely or close MVP, could be out. The expectation is that he will sign elsewhere, so they're going to have a need there. Myles Garrett, they would not want to see him go to the Washington Commanders, for example. If that was to gain traction, Howie Roseman would likely step in, try to make a deal that is too hard for the Cleveland Browns to refuse.
All right, so here's and I think the end of what he says there is it kind of takes away from his argument, which is, are the Eagles in on Myles Garrett? And I of course I believe that Howie Roseman is monitoring the situation, as they like to say in the business, Maniac Boy, but he should be. What's the price? He's got a relationship with the GM. He should have better information than other people around the league. It may be too rich. And my ultimate opinion is I think there'll be other teams that are be willing to give more than the Eagles are willing to give. But of course they should be in on Myles Garrett. If Josh Sweat is leaving and Josh Sweat is going to make $20 million a year elsewhere, you get Myles Garrett for $35 million a year. The problem is, what are you going to have to give up to get him? And I think the Commanders are going to be in, but I just don't think Howie Roseman is going to be like, hang on a second. What do you mean the Commanders want? Oh, no, we want Myles Garrett. If they want Myles Garrett, I want Myles Garrett. Here's 5 first-round draft picks. I don't think a good organization overpays an already ridiculous offer to get a player to keep him away from somebody else. Just my opinion. What do you think?
Well, Flegmo said if Sweat's gone in this chat here, Flegmo, if Sweat goes, we need to get Myles Garrett. Well, then if that's the case, then it sounds like we're getting Myles Garrett because Josh Sweat is not coming back to this football team. No. They're not going to pay him, back the Brinks truck up for him. I would be more interested in bringing in Milton Williams back, but we'll get to that point. Yeah, I mean, with the track record of Howie Roseman, you got to think he's going to explore everything. And, that he was asked out there at the combine by Elliott, and he can't talk about it yet because of the tampering period or whatnot. And, he gave the basic answer, we're going to look into, if this person can help our football team and if they fit in and go from there. I mean, obviously he would fit that role of helping the team out. A little insider scoop too. I don't know if it's come out yet or not, but Brandon Graham actually retore his triceps in the Super Bowl. I don't know.
That was Nolan Smith. Brandon Graham retore it?
Both of them did. This is directly from Brandon to me. So I was talking to Brandon. I was like, I think you might be the greatest Eagle of all time now. Like, you got to come back next year, I think. And he said, man, I don't know. And then he said, I actually retore my triceps. I'm going to need surgery again. So there's another guy that you're going to, I mean, I have a feeling he's going to probably retire, honestly.
Well, if he tore his tricep again, I think it's like if he was healthy, but they also won a Super Bowl too. So I didn't know. Before I thought there was a better chance he comes back than he didn't. But if he tore his tricep again, he's not coming back.
Yeah, it's the same one. Myles Garrett, what about Max Crosby? He's the one who's posted all this stuff with posting the Eagles. And I know he's got the Raiders tattooed all over him. Well, I don't even know what it would take. And what do you even have to give up to get Myles Garrett?
So Myles Garrett's 2 ones. Because if you're the Commanders and you're Josh Harris, our favorite Sixers owner, and what they just did last year, they went to the NFC Championship game. They're the toast of the town down in D.C. That fan base that had nothing to cheer about for decades is now so this is an offseason. They have a lot of cap money. They have money to burn. They need to make a splash. They're going to do something big. I think they add a wide receiver. Myles Garrett makes too much sense. They have a need at the position. It's going to the Washington fans will go crazy, right? So that's what I'm saying. That's what you're competing against if you're the Eagles. You're competing against a team. They need that more than the Eagles do. The Eagles just won the freaking Super Bowl and had the top defense. The Commanders, even if they overpay, and who cares? Next year, worry about next year. They have a quarterback that's making no money, who is unbelievable, an unbelievable young player. You can afford to you can afford to make moves like that when you have that. So, and then
you talk about
it makes a lot of sense, Maniac Malloy.
If you talk about the first pick too, what is it? It's going to be the 32nd overall pick this year, and
it doesn't have as much value. It just doesn't have the same value. And the Eagles are going to be good next year too.
Yeah, and then another thing would be if this is going to happen, it will probably happen on draft night, right?
Correct. Leading up to the draft.
Howie is the most pulling off the smoke and mirrors,
So here's what you're going to get now. Here's what you're going to get now, because you're getting there's a lot of talk. There's not a lot of these reports out there, but there's all right, Myles Garrett, Eagles, but hasn't exploded yet. You're going to get information superstation after free agency starts. Now the build up to the draft is you're going to see the Eagles are interested. Washington's interested. You're going to see, because now we need something new to talk about. Then the Myles Garrett train's really going to get started. It makes a lot of sense for the Eagles from this standpoint. And what they would have to give up is what I think makes it not happen. But this team right now, what's the identity of the team? After watching the Super Bowl, what's the identity of the team, Maniac Malloy? And it's the defense. You have a young secondary. You have an unbelievable defensive line, a young defensive line. Zach Bond's going to get paid a little bit. But you bring Myles Garrett, you're losing Josh Sweat. Myles Garrett, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith. They're your top 4 right there. How many sacks does Myles Garrett get based on the rest of this line? How many sacks does Nolan Smith get because of Myles Garrett? How many sacks does Jalen Carter get? Because, everybody works together because they're all so good. You could literally have, they had the number 1 defense in the league last year. You could have the best Eagles defense ever with what this team looks like right now.
I think it's, though, I think you're forgetting a name, though, that I do think they're going to bring back. I think they're going to sign Milton Williams. I really do. Think about it. We were throwing the B word around with Jordan Davis, right? Bust. I still am not sure if, what combo do you like better after, down the stretch run there? Milton Williams and Jalen Carter, or Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis? I think Jordan Davis, you let him play out his rookie deal. You sign Milton Williams back, and then you say, all right, bye, Jordan.
I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to – he's got that 5th-year option. If I'm the Eagles, I still look at his potential of how big and athletic he is, and I say, we got to get him there. Because you're right, he's not – the amount of snaps he's playing in a game doesn't justify the amount of money that he's going to make, Jordan Davis. It's an interesting thing, for sure. One note here, and Tyler puts this up there. So Myles Garrett has, he doesn't have any more guaranteed money left on his contract. So if you trade for him – even though he's not saying he wants to leave Cleveland because he wants a new contract, he's going to get a new contract wherever he goes. He's saying he wants out of Cleveland. He's not going to play there. He's not going to sign an extension. He has no guaranteed money left on his deal. You're going to have to give him a new contract that's probably going to be $35 million a year and $100 million guaranteed or something like that, which is it's a real contract. It's a lot. You have to pay him a lot of money. Max Crosby, 2 years. But I don't know how much guaranteed money. It seems like that there's a little bit of guaranteed money. You're probably going to have to give him a new contract as well, Max Crosby, if you're to make a deal like that. But hey, if you're willing to pay Sweat $20 million, why the hell wouldn't you pay somebody else $30? It's another $10 million a year.
And they're far, far superior players to both of them guys.
All right. The Maniac Boy, we're already late because you yapped too much in the first segment with me. So here's what we're going to do. Coming up. We'll continue the Eagles conversation, but also, I don't think people saw this because it kind of got buried in a bad social media clip. But Stephen A. Smith yesterday more or less predicted Daryl Morey's getting whacked. That's correct. We have the audio for you, and we'll discuss, and we'll end the video as well. We have it for you coming up next. Daryl Morey getting whacked. To me, this felt like an informed prediction. We'll explain what the hell I'm talking about right after this. It's Maniac Malloy Friday on Philly with John Marks, PHLY. I don't even have a Bet Parks. We can't even talk about Bet. We'll have to talk about Bet Parks with Maniac Malloy to see if he's going to see Larry the Cable Guy. Doesn't Maniac Malloy look like a Larry the Cable Guy? Like a fan? Wonder if I could go with him and create some content. We'll talk about that with a second. All right, Central City Toyota. Uncle Jamie was on the program yesterday. We were talking football. And I saw him the day before because I was up at Central City Toyota getting my car serviced. And it's an amazing deal right now. So if you're working in Center City, maybe you live in Center City or on the outskirts, like Bala Cynwyd, not that far away from University City, and you need your car serviced. You know you need it serviced, and you're like, you know what? I'll just go to the dealership on Saturday and sit there for 3 hours and drink bad coffee and stare at your phone and do whatever else. Or here's what you can do. Go to centralcitytoyota.com. and you can schedule an appointment for them to come and grab your car. They'll take it back to Central City Toyota. They'll do whatever you need, repairs, service, etc., and then drop it back off for you. It's like it never happened. Yeah, like you can get your service that you don't even know what happened. They just drop it back off. CentralCityToyota.com. You have to schedule an appointment for that, but you can always drop in to Central City Toyota in the heart of University City. Their service department's amazing. I went up after getting off the air on Wednesday, got everything I needed done. That's right. And their inventory right now is amazing. CentralCityToyota.com. Their sister dealership, Ardmore Toyota. So you have a ton of new inventory. You have a ton of certified Toyotas. Check it out, all the inventory. CentralCityToyota.com. And when you head down to University City, just tell my Uncle Jamie, the general manager, just kick open the door and say, where's Uncle Jamie? CentralCityToyota.com. All right, listen, I think we were talking about Rothman before the show with Andrew Frazier, the producer of the Anthony Gargano show. He's got something going on with the neck and the back and nerve pain, and He hasn't been able to sleep. And Tyler even said it like, yo, like Rothman, what are you doing? Because he said this, right? And I'm like, I don't want to, this isn't a commentary on going to a chiropractor, but listen, you have an issue with your back or your neck or something like that. Don't go to a chiropractor. Go to Rothman. Seriously, over 30 locations in New Jersey, in Pennsylvania. And I've been to the urgent care up in Limerick. I've been to see the doctor up in Limerick. I did physical therapy up in Limerick. Everything that you need is right there with Rothman, from imaging to x-rays to PT, like I mentioned. Rothman's amazing. So if you're hurting, if your joints are aching, if your hands cramping, as it gets warm, people are going to go out there and they're going to be playing golf, going to be playing pickleball for old guys like me. Whatever you're doing, basketball, if you're in pain afterwards and it's more than just the average linger, you should definitely get with Rothman. They can do something for you. They did something for me. My shoulder was bothering me for a year. And finally, I went to Rothman, and it's been great ever since. Visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY, specializing in orthopedics and you. Rothman Orthopedics. You can make an appointment, see everything they do, and to learn more, rothmanortho.com/PHLY. Hooah. And I'm sure Maniac Malloy, who played baseball at St. Joe's Prep. You're a baseball player, Prep?
And a football player, but, no big deal. I actually had my shoulder operated on at Rothman.
Did you really?
An old football injury. Yeah. I grabbed a guy going around the edge, and I grabbed him with one arm. My whole entire shoulder just came out of place. I tore my labrum. I went and saw a good doctor. I don't know what his name was, but I never had to go back, and I've never had a problem since. Rothman, the best.
There you go, Rothman Ortho.
And you wanted a Bet Parks thing? I'll squeeze it in there real quick. New users, download Bet Parks today. You bet $50, you'll get 100% insurance bet up to $50. Okay, so you get a free $50 bet basically if you join Bet Parks today and you've never bet before. New user offer, bang.
Is there a code that they need to use?
No code. You just got to not have ever used it before. Sign up, download the app, and you get 100% bet insurance up to $50. So that means if your first bet loses, you'll get a $50 bonus bet back.
That sounds like a good deal to me, Maniac Malloy. All right, so here's a question for you. And again, next segment, questions, comments, suggestions on the YouTube chat. Get it in. Anything. It could be revolving the show, personal things. I'm Maniac Malloy, I'm contractually obligated to answer regardless of what the question is. And you are as well, because I'm saying that. And Tyler as well.
Fine. I got thick skin.
I know you do. I know you can handle pretty much anything. They call you Maniac Malloy for a reason. All right, so if you were going to any Bet Park show that's coming up, all right, and I wanted to see Shaggy, but I was busy that night. Who is the American Idol guy that's coming up here?
Scotty McCreery.
Or Lee Bryce or Larry the Cable Guy. Where are you going, Maniac Malloy? You look like a Larry the Cable Guy fan.
You know what I'm saving up for?
What?
U2topia, March 16th. They do a St. Patty's Day night at the casino on a Sunday. And also the Sunday Fun Days are great. You go over there early in the morning. They got brunch, Bloody Marys, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'll go see Larry the Cable Guy over all of those for sure.
Can you get me tickets for Michael Carbonaro? Actually,
yeah,
I want to take my wife. March 8th.
That's done. Yeah, I'll go with you.
All right. Yeah, we can go. You can be the third wheel with my wife. I'm sure she'd appreciate that.
I could find a broad to go out with me too. Maybe. That's
all right. I will do a double date with you and a broad and my wife. March 8th, we do dinner and then we do the show. Deal?
Done.
All right, deal. Put it on your calendar.
Is it Friday? It's a Friday?
I don't know.
Next Monday? I mean next Friday? I got you. Done. Unless that's a
yeah, I think it's next Friday. Yes, that's next Friday. Yes. All right, deal. I have to find a sitter. Deal. All right, there we go. All right, so the Myles Garrett and the Eagles stuff, obviously that's going to be going on here for a while now. I think the Eagles are players in it. I just think that they're going to get outbid by somebody else. But so
that's what I think too, John.
Yeah, and so real quick, official prediction between who comes back. I know you're saying Milton Williams. To me, that feels like that's what you want them to do. What do you think they're going to do? What's it at the end of the four that we're talking about? Bond, Williams, Sweat, and who's the last?
Becton.
Who?
Becton.
Becton. Or what about Isaiah Rodgers?
Isaiah Rodgers, who cares? Kenny Gainwell, I think, is back. Who cares? Slay is back, I believe.
No, I think I thought he's walking.
I think he comes back for another year. Is what I'm predicting. He comes back
James
for another year.
Bradbury in there.
Bradbury's gone. So what do you think of the big four, the free agents?
No, like I said, I mean, well, this is one of the ways I look at it. Remember Vernon Hargreaves, how like awesome he was in that Super Bowl run as a D tackle, and then they let him walk, right?
Like he just got cut. Yeah, he got cut by that. Now he was pretty good, but he couldn't stay healthy.
So Milton Williams has been a guy the Eagles drafted. He's part of the culture. He's played his whole career in the NFL with the Eagles. And, you know, you need somebody to protect Jalen Carter. And, like, I don't know how you couldn't, like I said, they were throwing the B word around about Jordan Davis. Like, you got to protect yourself a little bit on that. And you know, I do think Milton Williams comes back. I think Zach Bond comes back. And that's the two I would say, 1 and 1A.
All right. See, I say you draft the next Milton Williams. Is what, and it's the same thing with Myles Garrett. Like, you're the number one defense in football. Like, what do you need Myles Garrett for? You just go draft the next guy. Well, the answer is Myles Garrett's a generational player. And to get him here where he's still got 3 years of a prime, like, you look at his numbers, man. I mean, he can roll out of bed and get 10 sacks in a season, right? Just by even a bad season, he's getting 12 sacks. And you put him on this defensive line, he might get 20. Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Jesus,
one of the things
man.
I love, though, is if he does end up in Washington, you know who he said was the hardest guy he went up against in 2024-25?
Lane?
Jordan Mailata.
Oh, that's right. He's on the other side.
Oh, I like that.
But see, here's the other thing, right? You're the Eagles and you're Howie Roseman, and you're built on your offensive line. Yeah, you'd rather see Myles Garrett go somewhere else. But I'm also not jumping in and giving up a third first-round draft pick because I don't want him to go to Washington. Now, like, you go to Washington, you're a good player. You may get yours against us, for sure. But, like, I can't be worried about doing that because of Washington. You're the Super Bowl freaking champions. You don't react in fear to another team. You dictate terms, brother. That's what they're going to do. That's
Absolutely.
what they're going to do. All right, so this is something that I've talked about here for more than a couple of weeks now. Bob Myers, who is the former executive and GM with the Golden State Warriors, who stepped down a couple of years ago, but he came in after the Warriors. Steph Curry was already on the team, and I think Draymond was as well, or maybe that was his first year with Draymond. But, like, he took an existing roster and turned them into a dynasty, right? Like, made some major swings, Kevin Durant, et cetera. Well, he left Golden State. He's doing TV right now. There appears to be a relationship with Josh Harris and with Myers. And the question is, well, would they really get rid of Daryl Morey, who recently signed a contract extension and makes a lot of money, which means that's guaranteed? And would they get rid of Daryl Morey anyway? Now, depending on how you look at this, because I'll see a lot of people, a lot of 76er social media people who are completely annoying, that'll be like, Daryl Morey's doing a great job. Joel Embiid's the best. Oh, like, what are you talking about? And it's like, all right. Like, more than one thing can be true. Joel Embiid's a great player. He's an MVP. He's a great talent. He's a great 76er. They ain't winning a championship with him, brother. Like, they're just not. Like, there's the other side of Joel Embiid. And I'm not going to call him a bum or, like, whatever. He's played through injuries. His body's breaking down, right? Daryl Morey has taken his swings, and he's missed. And this has now turned into a freaking disaster that's not going anywhere. So are they willing to move on from him? Are they thinking about moving on from him? I know I sure as hell would. So this is Stephen A. Smith on First Take yesterday. And so listen to how he starts it. Because they're talking about Paul George earlier in the cut. And then out of nowhere, he pivots away from Paul George. And he makes sure he gets this opinion in, or this prediction in, on Daryl Morey. And he brings up Magic Johnson's name first. So just listen to how he sets this up. This is Stephen A. Smith.
Josh Harris, the owner of the Sixers, is also the owner for the Washington Commanders. Who's a co-owner in his group? It would happen to be Irvin Magic Johnson. And if you Daryl Morey, I don't know whether it's true or not, but if rumors are correct that Josh Harris told you he was leery on giving Joel Embiid a max extension, and you said, Daryl Morey, it had to be done. If those reports are true, change is coming to Philadelphia. It's just a prediction. It's just a prediction.
He is so good, man. Just a prediction. Just a prediction. So pay attention to what he said at the beginning of the cut.
Smoking the weed.
He name drops Magic Johnson for some reason, and then says, you know, he's an owner with Josh Harris down in Washington. And then he says, oh, Daryl Morey. And if the rumor is true that Josh Harris is mad as hell because they signed Joel Embiid to this major contract extension and he's totally broken down. So let's translate Stephen A. Smith here. He talked to Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson told him, because he's talking to Magic Johnson, he's like, what the hell's up with Embiid? What's your boy Harris saying? And he's like, he's not happy. He is not happy because he was asking questions like, hey, are you sure you want to extend Joel Embiid right now? We don't have to do it right now. And Daryl Morey said, no, you have to trust me here. So to me, that's an informed prediction by Stephen A. Smith that he knows that Josh Harris is mad as hell of what happened this season. They just gave Paul George a max extension, $212 million max extension.
No, but he's done the podcast. He's done the podcast.
I know.
Now.
It makes it fun. I know. They're good now. They're making a charge for the playoffs this year, Maniac Malloy. So
it's only March.
I know. Like, the only time we talk about the Sixers is if with stupid stuff like that. We don't talk about anything good or the games unless they're bad in the games. And I'm not going to talk about the games anymore. To me, that sounds like, Tyler, I want your opinion on this too. To me, that sounds like Stephen A. Smith is saying, Magic Johnson told me Josh Harris is mad as hell that they signed Joel Embiid. I mean, look at the Sixers situation right now. They can try to shine it and make it look like it's okay. Like, Embiid will be back, then he's not that bad. Paul George is going to be good. We have Maxey, we have McCain, we have a draft pick possibly. Like, but that's not how it actually looks from the outside, at least from a lot of people's perspectives, Tyler. But how do you view Stephen A?
I'm interested in this because I had the feel that Josh Harris would not want to, if possible, to have to pay two GMs at once. Yes. Because Daryl Morey signed the extension. He's still going to have to get paid. And then if you bring in Bob Myers is going to be a highly paid GM. It's not going to be, first-time GM
$15 million a year.
It's going to make a lot of money. So you're paying a lot of money to two highly touted, experienced GMs. Whether you like Morey or not, whether you like Myers or not, both of these guys have been in the league for a long time and around teams and have been around, winning teams to certain extents. I'm surprised that this is coming out now because I really didn't think that Harris would want to pay two GMs at once. Because let's be honest, I think the Sixers are not his favorite business investment. I think the Commanders are. I think maybe he even likes being a part of the Devils ownership group more than the Sixers. So I'm surprised at the timing of this because of the monetary requirement that would be firing Morey and bringing a Bob Myers type GM in and pay them both at the same time.
I mean, I don't think this isn't a report, and that's why he says it's a prediction. He's just being told that Josh Harris is mad as hell. And guess what? Yeah, no bleep. He's mad. They spent a lot of his money, and they're not going to make the playoffs this year. Like you look at a $212 million investment in Paul George. How's that looking right now? Looks more like a sunk cost after 1 year than it looks like a great signing. So we'll see. But it just goes to show you that if you weren't sure, right? Because a lot of people will say, well, Josh Harris isn't even paying attention. He doesn't care about the Sixers. You know what he cares about? Losing money and your team's not winning crap. When you win, you make a lot of money. Even if you're in the finals and you don't win a finals, you're selling more merchandise. That you're making more money off of concessions. You make more money when you win. They're spending to win, bro, and they're not getting anything out of it. So.
I mean, and to add insult to injury here, Embiid, the contract, Paul George, not giving you much of anything. James Harden is lighting it up. He's lighting it up for the Clippers.
Scored 30 the other day.
30 the other night. 31 to the 23rd. 24 on the 20th. I would like to see him out there.
That's a great conversation, and I think the fan reaction to James Harden, well, plus the fact that like Daryl Morey didn't, but I think Josh Harris got involved and said, you can't max that guy out. Are you nuts? And maybe they should have maxed him out and not maxed Embiid out. I mean, Jesus. Would you rather have Harden than Paul George right now?
Absolutely. Not even a question. Not even a question. Now, you know what? I'll give you one more little nugget. I probably shouldn't even say this, but, we have I've been around people in the 76ers organization on draft night, right? The pick comes in, Jaden Daniels. The person sitting next to me works for the Sixers. You go, oh, who did we get? Oh, did we get him? Did we get him? I go, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh no, like and
Commanders?
No,
this is like an organizational thing. They're like telling the people that work for the Sixers to root for the Commanders.
I'm not saying
they're invested.
I'll say this, and I won't say who it is, and I won't criticize them for him, but lifelong Philadelphia area, works for the Sixers, was down at a playoff game. All the kids had Commanders jerseys on the field. Everybody decked out in Commanders stuff. And like, listen, that's the livelihood. So that's what he's got to do. But yes. Oh, no. If you work for the Sixers, you work for the Commanders, and you're a Commanders guy for sure.
That is
for sure.
Unforgivable.
That's
unforgivable.
You better watch your information. You can see what happens. You get loose lip being on here with me, and next thing you know, you're spilling the beans with a partner, and you get in trouble.
What are you gonna do? I'm up to here with them.
I know.
I'm up to here with them.
I love you, man. All right,
I've just lost my trust in that squad. That's all.
Oh, it's done. It's over. I love Maxey. I love McCain. Like, start over with them. You're not going to win a lot of games doing it. You can't win with little guards like that.
And you know what? That was another thing I was going to say. That's what you got to really watch for is like, Tyrese Maxey, he has every right to request a trade.
He's not going to do that. Not yet. All right, so hang on. You're making me late again, Maniac Boy. All right, coming up. Questions, comments, suggestions. We have them listed. Last chance. We're contractually obligated to answer any question that we want to, or your comments, or your suggestions. That's coming up right after this. Philly with John Marks. You do not want to go anywhere. Maniac Beloy, Tyler Zulli. Everybody is here today. All right, TrueMark Financial. And you know what? Today is the last day. So this is the last time that you're going to hear me talk about TrueMark Financial. Unless they extend it, which I guess they could. But TrueMark Financial, last day. So, like with me, it's one thing with me. I may have debt, but I don't pay interest. You pay interest on a car loan or your mortgage or whatever. I don't pay interest on credit cards. I don't pay interest. You know why? Because while I may have debt, I just move things around to 0% interest. Your opportunity right now, TrueMark Financial Credit Union, if you're getting weighed down with that interest, it's from Christmas. Believe me, I know. I'm right there with you. TrueMark Financial is offering 0 interest on balance transfers. That's for 12 full months. So your payments are going towards reducing your balance, not just covering interest. Hurry. Got to do it by today. TrueMark Financial can choose the credit card that best fits your financial needs. Visit TrueMark.com/compare for full details and to apply today. TrueMark Financial, federally insured by NCUA, equal opportunity lender. Terms and conditions apply. All loans subject to approval. 3% balance transfer fee applies. Standard rates apply after the promotional rate. Well, we already did the Glad Hair Restoration commercial with Maniac Beloy. They could give him a nice head of hair. Phil Martelli, they could make, but like regardless of the stage of hair loss that you're in, Glad Hair Restoration. All right, so here's a fresh before and after picture. And the reason I picked this, because if you see the picture with my wife, that's clearly not taken 2 years ago. I have no white in my beard. I'm much younger. But that's taken from the same period. It's actually taken after. So look at the picture on the left. Still handsome, but look at the hairline. Look at the picture on the right. Look at the hair. I look much younger. I look much better. That's me, probably 2 years apart, but that's after Glad Hair Restoration. I mean, that's really the best picture. And then you look at a current picture of me, and it's like, wow, like look at the hair, still going strong. I got a freshie yesterday up at Razor Bar. My girl Tia gave me the freshie. It's always you leave and you're like, yeah, hair looks good. That can be you. Glad Hair Restoration. Experts in the industry, most experience, most success, over 30 years in hair. That's all they do. All stages of hair loss. And it's not just about restoration. It's about innovation. If you're starting to go bald, if you're thinning, if you're shedding, maybe you're not ready for restoration, they can stop it. They can slow it down. Because that's really what it's about. You don't want it to get worse. If you could say, hey, like if my hair looked like this, I'd be good. I'm worried about what it's going to look like in 2 years and 5 years and whatever. Glad Hair Restoration's got something for you. 610-980-4000, 610-980-4000, or gladhairmm.com. Gladhairmm.com. Hoo-ah! As we're back. Maniac Malloy, better actor, Tom Hanks or Al Pacino?
Alpha.
Who?
Alpha.
I disagree. Al Pacino's a one-trick pony. Hoo-ah! And that's why I asked it, because I do this.
He's so much cooler. He's just
he's good. Like, he's a great actor. He's generational. He is cooler.
But I'm never like, man, I want to watch a Tom Hanks movie.
I don't either.
Like, I don't. But I'd be like, oh, all right, I'll watch Scarface, or like I'll watch an Al. Like if Al's in a movie, I'm like, all right, I'm into that. Any given Sunday.
Terrible movie. Any given Sunday.
No, great. Wrong. You're not even a movie guy. You just said it.
Scarface. Well, that's why I don't like movies. Overrated. Scarface is like good, but like, come on, the end of Scarface is stupid. And I know
Godfather?
It's 1982.
What are you going to say about that one?
Of course, The Godfather is a great movie. No, like that's what his whole freaking career's over. Godfather. And like, he's a good actor. Don't get me wrong. He's a good actor. He's more of a, like, Tom Hanks isn't a stage actor. Al Pacino is a legit stage actor. He's a New York City stage actor. Like, I like Al Pacino better. I wouldn't want to have dinner with Tom Hanks. I think Tom Hanks would be a dick. All right.
Damn, you never want to watch Saving Private Ryan, someone said. Sorry.
No, Saving Private Ryan's a great movie.
John, I think you're wrong. Literally every account of anyone who's ever met Tom Hanks says he's the nicest guy in the world.
On the surface.
It's like Tom Hanks and Keanu Reeves are like the two that have like 5-star overwhelming reviews as people.
I wouldn't want to have dinner with them. Keanu Reeves, maybe Keanu Reeves. But like Pacino, like how that would be fascinating to sit down and have some wine and Italian dinner with Pacino or De Niro. Are you kidding me? What that would be like? Jesus God, man. So like, I like Pacino better. Tom Hanks is by far a better actor. It's not even close. Come on, man. The range he has, Maniac Malloy, come on.
You know what his best role was? Catch Me If You Can, in a supporting role to Leo in Hanratty or whatever, you know? That's my thoughts on that one.
All right. There you go.
That's the hottest take all day.
But that's that's what I get when I'm on with you, is this.
Just
By the way, I have a daddy-daughter dance tonight at 6:00. My daughter, my daughter, who frequently wakes up at night, my 3-year-old, and it's not mommy, it's daddy, which means daddy's up multiple times during the night. But normally, like 3:00 is her cap, and then that's where she and then like she'll go back to bed, and then I leave at like 5:15. But 5:00, I'm trying to finalize the kids' lunches, and daddy, and it's an upset daddy. It's not a daddy. It's like, oh God. So I go up. She's ready to get up for the day, and I'm like, honey, you can't get up for the day. It's 5:00, and she's like, she's excited about the dance. She's like, daddy, daughter dance. I'm like, honey, that's not till tonight. That's dinner time. I gotta go to work. I gotta leave. I gotta go make chocolate milk. I gotta get out of here.
I gotta go make the donuts. I gotta make the donuts.
So then I'm trying to get her in the chair in the lazy boy to put her back to sleep, and she is like not having it. She's so I'm like, she's your problem now, hun. Like, no, and then she's like clutching my neck to not let go of me or whatever. So anyway, daddy-daughter dance tonight. I got the fresh haircut. So I know we have some watchers out there that go to my kids' nursery school, because that's where it is. So I'll see them there tonight.
Well, enjoy yourself tonight. Make the memory.
It's going to be nice, yes. Going to be nice.
Gotta be good. I'm going to be picking up the boy from school, and we're going to have I don't even know. I might try to take him skiing. He's a maniac. He wants to go bomb down some hills, so we haven't done that. Do you ever
rest, man? You're too, like, you're younger than me, but I'm lazy. I was just thinking about it.
You
never stop doing stuff.
So I was talking to a woman, and she's got like a 15-year-old kid, and I'm like, God, and she's a little bit older than me. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, holy shit. Like, when I'm 45, he's going to be 20. And when I'm 50, he's going to be 25. Like, the best is yet to come, Marks, for me and my.
Yeah, for you. My Bella, I'll be 62 when she graduates from high school. So there you go. That's what I have in store.
Me and Finn are going to be down in Clearwater together at the bar. You
guys will be getting hammered down there on a Tuesday night. Probably Clearwater is there's nothing good to do at night. It's dead.
It's just Delco in Northeast Philly down at the ballpark. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, the best time in Clearwater is during the game and then right after for happy hour. go home after that. Because if you think you're going to find something to do at midnight, good luck. You're going to be at the Wave. Sucks.
All-time greatest, St. Patty's Day, the one year, and they
St.
had
Patty's Day is
Blackthorn.
different.
And then they had Blackthorn playing out in the left field. Oh, my God. That was a great day. Great day many years ago.
All right. Questions, comments, and suggestions. Tyler Zulli has been keeping track all show long. And we've generally had pretty good stuff when we've done this segment. Now Maniac Malloy is here to engage in the answers as well. Tyler, what do we have?
All right. So I will flash them up on the screen for you, but I'll read them as well. First one here from Michael Haynes says, can anyone ever envision PHLY doing any kind of crossover content with either of the two sports radio stations, or are they considered competition? Who would be the first to say no?
Well, being that WIP put out an edict when I worked there that no one from PHLY could come on the air and vice versa. Like they yanked Baldy from being on. I used to have Baldy on weekly, and he was an Odyssey. So he did stuff all over the country as an Odyssey NFL insider, and they wouldn't let him on WIP, which I'm like, why? We're losing out on Baldy? Like PHLY is just starting. Like it's one thing if they were on the Fanatic, and he's like, yeah, he's doing stuff on the Fanatic. Then you're not going to put him on with us. But then they've put him back on WIP since then. So anyway, neither station's going to be. We're not going to be doing crossover stuff with at least not while I'm working here. Like I couldn't see it happening anytime soon, I guess is what I'm saying.
I'm very separated from that situation, but I would have to concur with John there, knowing what I know.
Yeah, I mean, they won't they would never allow me and Elliot to do anything on Bet Parks.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like we both do stuff for Bet Parks. They wouldn't allow me and Elliot to do stuff. So there's no way. No, there's no way. But it's a good question. It takes you on the inside, which I appreciate.
All right. So this is from yesterday. I don't even know if you remember doing this, but Michael Campbell is none too pleased with you, John. Says, are you done calling Paul George a good dude today? Bleep, that was irritating.
Well, I think he is a good dude. And I thought the first thing, because honestly, I can't tell you I followed a lot of Paul George other than like, oh, he's a good player. Like I knew what he looked like, but I don't know how many sound cuts I was watching from him after games. Well, actually I do. The answer is 0 before he came to Philadelphia. And it was when he went back to the Clippers and he was answering questions about going back to Los Angeles and the fans and stuff. And he just gave honest answers. And like, you could tell it was like, no, like this is a good dude. Like he appreciated his time in Los Angeles. He's giving you like his honest opinion. And, I think he was saying like, of course I'd love to be cheered. I don't want to be booed. And he's like, hey, the reality is they didn't want to pay me. Right. So like, I don't know. Like I like Paul George. I don't like Paul George, the player. He sucks. But I honestly, if you don't like a player's personality or they irritate you when they talk, you're less likely to like them or give them the benefit of the doubt on the floor. Right. When they play. But I don't know.
I just can't get over. I'll just forever have it in my mind him driving through the Eagles like celebration out. Like that must have been. I would just love to be a fly on the wall in that car and just try to understand his thought process as he drove through that, and then kind of went on to play just bum basketball. That you would think that would like kind of light a fire under your ass a little bit, but no, it comes a couple weeks later when he decides to stop the podcast.
So what's the primary motivation behind that? Was it because he saw what happened with the Eagles and he said, hey, I got to get myself together? Because like him coming out and saying that, oh, like they're going to make a push to make the playoffs. Do you have any idea that we don't want that, Paul George? What's wrong with you? Like a push to make the play-in tournament? Like, we don't want to hear that.
Honestly, it might be because he's probably like, I can't keep putting these out here because he's getting crushed with like just hate comments and like people are just picking him apart. Like, I don't know if you follow that guy, Run It Back Philly or whatever. He's a guy from Hershey who has a little podcast about the Sixers. I mean, that guy is on Paul George, like stink on crap. Like everything he does or says or something he puts it out there. And then like I think it's just odd that he misses that rebound which I thought was very piss poor effort the night to keep the game tied, a game tying overtime forcing rebound. You got ripped to shreds on every single post that I saw. And then all of a sudden, 2 days later, he's going to say he's taking a break from the podcast. I think he's probably sick of hearing it from people, honestly.
Yeah, I had predicted that it was the social media. Like it's like, dude, you're in more podcasts than you are games as a Sixer, you bum. And he reads that and he's like, well, why else? Because he's doing one a week. He's spending 2 hours. He's not preparing for it. He's not doing any work. Instead of taking a nap, he can do his podcast on a day off or whatever. It's not like it's heavy lifting.
Yeah, or he could be looking at the numbers and the numbers are tanking and he's like, man, I really got to take a break from this. Like, that could be.
All right, so a couple more here.
All right, we got 3 more for you. This one from Fit Dad CEO says, if you were Myles Garrett, what team would you want to go to, the Eagles or the Commanders?
Have you done stuff with Fit Dad CEO?
I've met him like 2 times. Unbelievably nice guy. I met him at the C6 tailgate. I think he's remarkably talented, just a sharp guy. I would love to do something with him. He's funny as hell. Yeah, obviously you'd want to go to the Eagles. What? I mean,
Eagles.
Come on.
Yeah, like
the Eagles are the trending topic right now.
I'm sure if the Eagles weren't interested, he would love to go to the Commanders because that's a good place to go too. But are you kidding me? On a team that just won the Super Bowl that has studs on the defensive line?
It's a good fit, but you know what? There's something about Myles Garrett where I think it's
well, you're gonna have
everything else. It's gonna be about money.
Well, no, I think he wants a new contract making that money, but he's gonna get it where he wants it, and he doesn't want it in Cleveland. You're gonna have to pay him $35 a year, most likely. That's going to be the going rate. He's going to get near quarterback money. All right, what else do we have here?
Yeah, 2 more. These are quick ones. INS says, question, would you rather be an elite-level player at chess or poker?
Poker. My God. Can you make money playing chess? Bobby Fish. Where is he? I don't know.
My answer is checkers. I would like to be an elite.
Yeah, but, John, see, the thing with that answer there is because Maniac brings up a good point. The answer is poker because you make the money off of the poker tournaments. But chess, there's like a cerebral thing. Like if somebody says like you're a master chess player, you got like, all right, that's pretty impressive. You're not making a ton of money off it. I mean, I guess
it's like, all right, what level on the spectrum are you that you're like this elite level chess player, right? If you're a poker player, you're smoking cigarettes and getting drunk when you're not playing.
You know what? My one of my childhood best friends, he's a professional poker player now, and he quit his job. He's killing it. He is killing it. And another kid that plays in our basketball organization, his dad, he's some German guy. He plays professionally. There's some money in it. There's some money.
I spent many an afternoon at the Parks Poker Room. It's amazing poker room. Best in the area.
One thing. Now, I've also spent many a night in the basement playing with some people at Parks, getting my ass absolutely handed to me, but also laughing my ass off the whole time and having a great time. So it's poker. It's poker. All the way.
All right. So we have one more, and after that, we're gonna have our stat of the week with our intern Daulton, and then I got to get out of here because I forgot I had to jump on a call. But the Maniac Malloy, I knew this was gonna happen with you. Shout out to everybody watching on TV, by the way. For the rest of the program, get over to allphly.com. Last question. What do we got?
Yeah, last one. This is an interesting one because this takes me back to when I was a kid. What was everybody's AIM handle if you had an AIM?
John didn't have.
This one's probably more for me and Maniac, our age group.
Sir.
But
X-Monk 53X. Why? I don't know why. Monk, I don't know.
You do know why.
Idea, but I will explain the 53. The 53.
Hugh Douglas?
Hugh Douglas.
No
I played
way.
defensive end. I played DN for Lenape Valley Indians. Hugh was the shit. You know, he was the shit.
All right, no, we're not supposed to use profanity here, Maniac Malloy.
Sorry, you didn't tell me that. My bad.
I know I didn't. I should have.
You were, that was it. Hugh Douglas, 53, X-Monk 53.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You're correct, Tyler. I didn't have a name. I was too old for instant. I had an AOL email account, which later I guess could have been a name.
That would have been how you got into AIM, and then you come up with a.
But I didn't get a name.
You come up with a screen name.
Yeah, I didn't.
And then you know you're a teenager and you write your away message and it's like, don't talk to me, mad at the world, or some kind of emo nonsense. You think you're like writing songs for Dashboard Confessional.
Love that music. Love that music.
Oh, man. All right.
Tyler, what was yours? Yell it out.
Yeah, mine was, so like you said, Hugh Douglas was your inspiration. I was a big Randy Wolf fan growing up. So
43?
I forget exactly what it was, but it had something to do with Randy Wolf, 43, and the Phillies. Yeah.
Wow.
You were a member of the Wolfpack.
Yes, huge Wolfpack fan.
Randy Wolf's good. He's a good pitcher. Jim Wolf, his brother, is still a major league umpire, which is pretty interesting. All right, our intern stat of the week, Daulton the intern. Daulton, hello. How are you, buddy?
Hello. How you guys doing?
So I understand you have something related to Eagles free agency for your stat.
Yeah.
of the week,
So
Daulton?
I'm going to be talking about an underrated free agent, in my opinion, Mekhi Becton. So he played 903 snaps this season, and he had 25 pressures, 2 hits, 3 sacks allowed, and he only had 4 penalties. And then Pro Football Focus, so they graded him as a 63.6 pass blocking, 74.7 run blocking, and 75.2 for an overall grade.
75 point. Now I don't spend a lot of time on Pro Football Focus. Is that considered, because that's 75 is an average if it's like a test. So is he graded high on the Pro Football Focus scale? Is that considered like solid starter? What is a 75.2?
I think it's a pretty average, solid grade for where he plays at right guard.
All right, but you seem your priority, because you called it an underrated free agent. You want Mekhi Becton back, huh?
I think him and Bond are the two guys that you got to bring back. I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to sign Milton Williams. I think he wants to get paid, and then I don't think they're going to be able to sign Josh Sweat. I think he wants to get paid. I think Becton might be the easiest one to sign, because I think you could give him like less money, and I think Bond you could probably easily sign too.
My thing is this: what about, like, he was always a tackle, right? He was never a guard at all until this season, correct? If I'm not mistaken, you know, who's to say somebody's not going to pay him tackle money to leave the Eagles? That would be my only concern there. But yeah, he changed his whole career around. He's, a very emotional guy, and getting that chance to play with the Eagles and change his, whole perception of being a first round pick, I guess. So yeah, he's going to maybe give him the hometown discount, but if he gets big money to go be a tackle someplace else, he just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you just won your championship. Go get paid now. And if it's close and the Eagles are a little bit under, I think he'll sign here. But he's not taking $5 million less to go play to stay here. That's too much money. Intern Daulton with the stat of the week. Daulton,
well done,
thank you.
Daulton.
We'll talk to you next week.
I like that, Daulton. I like that a lot.
See you guys.
All right, buddy. Good job. Listen, man, you're hired. Now the pay isn't great.
Yeah, it's all right.
But
my Fridays are pretty open.
It helps promote the Bet Parks brand.
Howie Magic. Do you see that? Can you see those questions getting pumped?
Yeah. Howie signs. Some fans think they're going to bring everybody back. They're not bringing everybody back. But who the hell knows what Howie's capable of, Maniac Malloy. All right. Well, listen. Get to your content creating. Create content for Bet Parks.
That's all I do.
That's all you do. All right.
John, great show.
How do we follow you on social media?
Maniac Malloy on Instagram. Maniac Malloy on TikTok. Go.
Follow
me. If you dare.
Go. You'll be disgusted and disgraced if you do it.
That's exactly right. You'll be appalled.
That's why you do it.
Throw your phone in the trash.
Yep, exactly right. All right, Malloy. Maniac, have a good weekend, buddy.
Enjoy the dance tonight, my friend.
Thank you, man.
You know what? Dance like no one's watching, Johnny.
I will. I'm going to put the Philly song on, too. Dancing on my own. No, I won't. I don't know. All right. Good weekend.
That time. All right, buddy.
Later. All right, everybody. Great weekend. We're back at 8 o'clock on Monday morning. So enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you then. Shout out to everybody watching, listening, and everything else. Anthony's live right now. Click over. See you.
We all silly like the mayor.